Hi, good morning everyone. My name is Victor Asuncion from Nsky Solar and we're bringing you another video regarding batteries and solar and inverters. So today, we're going to be talking about, uulitin natin ulit from our last video, which is yung ano ba talaga yung difference ng hybrid tsaka grid tie. Kasi marami pa rin nalilito. And this video is gonna talk more about bakit nakakapag-produce ng kuryente si hybrid inverter pag brownout. Bakit si grid tie inverter hindi? So, here I have two samples. Meron akong dalawang samples ng solar inverter natin, which is the hybrid inverter, and this is the smallest grid tie inverter na mahanap mo. This is a 3.3 kilowatt power grid tie inverter. So, for reference sake, dito naman is an 8.0 kilowatt hour hybrid inverter. So, ang laki niya in comparison. Yung mga grid tie inverters kasi ngayon, compact size na siya eh. Okay? So, let's just look at the two different areas muna kung saan siya very different physically. Saka tayo magpupunta sa whiteboard natin para ma-discuss natin, oo nga, paano nga nangyayari yon? Bakit yung grid tie inverter hindi siya nakakapag-produce ng kuryente pag brownout? Sa grid tie inverter natin, mapapansin mo, meron lang siyang input, isang input, usually may isang MPPT or dalawang MPPT, dalawang MC4 connector input. So this is where your solar panels are connected to. And then, with grid tie inverters, isa lang yung output niya. So yung grid output lang yung meron sa grid tie inverter. Wala nang iba. So input ng solar power from the solar panels on the roof, and then output niya is yung grid interconnected output na. So yan yung tinatay natin sa either electrical panel box or sa disconnect switch sa labas ng bahay. So ganun lang yung function niya. So remember that kasi when we discuss in the whiteboard, malalaman mo, kaya pala nag-shutdown yung grid tie inverter pag brown out. Okay? Mapapansin mo, wala siyang input ng battery. Input ng battery and wala siyang output ng EPS or emergency power system. And let's move here to the hybrid. Hybrid, this is much bigger. So, ang input nito is yung PV1, PV2 ng solar input natin. So, kasi mas malaking inverter nga siya. But you'll notice na meron tayong grid output and then load output. So, load also can be classified as yung EPS mo. Some inverters call it EPS. So, grid output and load output. Yung grid output, yan, nag-shutdown pa rin yan during brownouts. Okay? So, yung grid output na yun, nag-shutdown pa rin yan. Like your typical grid tie system. Okay? And yung load output naman, that is your EPS. Diyan mo ilo-load yung mga gusto mong hindi nawawala ng kuryente. Sobrang dami pa rin ako confused na client namin dito. Kala nila pag nakakonect lang sa load, yun lang yung solar powered. Tapos yung nasa grid, hindi yun solar powered daw. So gusto nilang i-load lahat sa load side. Sabi ko, sir, mali yung understanding mo. Yung load side is EPS lang yan. Yan lang yung active during brownout. Grid tie naman, solar powered din pa rin yan. Solar powered pa rin yan during regular daily cycle, just as long as hindi tayo brown out. So, sobrang confusing nun for a lot of customers. So, please, listen to this video. Grid and then load output or otherwise EPS output for some inverters. Sige, let's move to a drawing chart. By the way, guys, check out this new Hikvision interactive panel that we have here. This is also something that Nsky Solar is distributing. Kung gusto nyo ng ganito kagandang interactive panel for teaching your employees or teaching your anybody, this is something that you can use. So, may Android system siya. Pwede ka mag-Netflix dito if you wanted to. But here it is. Ang ganda niya. So, i-demonstrate natin how to use it as well for this video. So, ngayon, grid tie inverter. Let's draw a line. GTI stands for grid tie inverter. Solar modules from the top. Okay. Input ng grid tie inverter. Okay. Lagyan natin ng buttons for maganda representation. And then, to your loads. Yan na yung bahay mo. Okay? Okay. And then, to the house, ang connected din sa house mo is si Meralco. Yan. Ganda na. So, utility. DU, distribution utility. Grid tie produces electricity, converts that electricity into alternating electricity for your house use, and then nagmi-meet sila ni Meralco, ay ng DU, okay? The reason why grid tie inverters are so popular and common is because it has the capacity to export back to the grid. So when it is interconnected to the grid, may tinatawag tayong anti-islanding law. Pag yung solar mo nag-produce ng kuryente at may taong nagtatrabaho dun sa lineman, dun sa this is supposed to be yung mga electrical post Pagandahin na lang natin yung yung mas madaling makaka-relate yung mga tao. Kuryente, ganyan dito sa Pilipinas, may transformer. Ayan. May taong nagtatrabaho ngayon dun sa poste ng kuryente na yan. Nag-export ka ng kuryente, na kuryente siya. Patay, deads. Diba? So the anti-islanding rule states that the grid tie inverter, pag walang reference voltage from the DU, magsha-shutdown siya. Okay. That's called the anti-islanding law. So that, for instance, may clearing na ginagawa sa distribution utility, sinutdown nila yung kuryente, walang kuryente sa DU, automatic magsha-shutdown si grid tie. Hindi masasaktan si lineman. Okay? So that's it. Kasi isa lang naman output ng grid tie Isa lang output niya, which is yung grid output. Okay? That's the rule for the anti-islanding law. On the other hand naman, subject ba sa anti-islanding law si hybrid? Subject ba siya sa anti-islanding law? Huh? Of course, yes. It's a rule. Any solar interconnected system should have anti-islanding. Okay? So now, house, and then your DU. Transformer ulit. Yan. Lagyan ko lang swirly marks para mag-gets siya na. So, DU. Still does the same operation, import, export, if you wanted to. Okay? But ngayon, yung hybrid inverter natin has a selection. It has a CT sensor kasi it has a selection na you can export limit, and then you can also have emergency power system, EPS. So, kaya nga, some inverters that call it emergency power system, I believe it is a more applicable term rather than load. Because, yung whole loads mo, pag nag-brown out si DU for the sake of clearing or cleaning or maintenance sa transformers or sa distribution lines, mamamatayan ng kuryente. Okay? Walang power. No power. Pag no power, cut to, shutdown din to. So ngayon, same thing. Same result with the grid tie inverter. But the hybrid inverter has another output. May another output siya. Yung output siya na yan, EPS. That EPS goes into usually a box, ganon, and dun mo i-connect yung mga emergency power system loads mo, which is sometimes can be your CCTV, your lights. Kunyari, ayaw mo talaga nang nawawala ng aircon, lalagay mo yung aircon mo dyan. Pwede, ano pa bang pwede mo ilagay? Water pump, para hindi kayo mawala ng tubig. Ano pang typical na nilalagay dyan? But does it mean na ilo-load natin yung whole house sa EPS? Some homes na mababa yung load schedule nila sa rating ng inverter, pwede mo nang ilagay yung buong bahay mo. But pag yung EPS, in-overload mo yan, meaning nagdagdag ka more than the capacity ng inverter natin, ano mangyayari sa'yo? Overload. Puputok yung inverter mo. So basically, yung hybrid inverter, kaya nga siya tinawag na hybrid is may grid tie inverter siya. All-in-one inside. Kaya nagtataka ko kung bakit tinatawag na hybrid inverter, yung mga off-grid inverters na may AC input, hindi po yun hybrid. Ang hybrid natin is ito talaga. It's a hybrid of both grid tie and off-grid. So ngayon, EPS, client says na, ganun pala, gusto ko hybrid, load natin yung buong bahay. Naligo, nag-hot shower. Hot shower, usually, hindi yan nilalagay. Lagay natin dito, hot shower, kitchen appliance, yung stove, hindi mo yan ilalagay sa EPS mo. Ano pa ba? kettle, yung kitchen outlet mo, hindi mo yan nilalagay. Why? Is because sobrang high power consuming device niya or appliance. Ngayon, kung battery power ka, tapos ginamit mo yan, kung hindi pumutok yung inverter mo dahil hindi sila nagsabay-sabay, ang bilis ma-deplete ng battery power mo. And ito naman, come on guys, pag nag-brown out, hindi mo naman kailangan mag-hot shower eh. Hindi naman necessary na magluto ka doon on that particular time. Pwede ka naman maggasol. Pwede naman yung kape mo, gagawin mo rin muna sa gasol. So ito yung mga hindi mo ilalagay. EPS, usually mga low electronic loads na we can't live without. Ano, ang isang bagay na hindi natin kayang mabuhay? Internet. So yung router natin, kabit natin sa EPS. So yun. Sana hindi kayo malilito. Ngayon, on a regular day na hindi brownout, tanggalin natin si brownout. Hindi siya brownout. Okay. Produce pa rin ang kuryente, si grid. Tapos, walang brownout si Meralco or si DU, kung sino cooperative, walang brownout. Yung hot shower stove kettle mo, solar powered ba siya? Solar powered ba to? Yes, of course. Kasi grid function, it will power the whole house pa rin. Yung buong bahay pa rin, iso-solar power niya. Yung EPS load ng hybrid inverter natin is only for when brownout strikes. It will always be powered kasi manggagaling sa battery. Meron palang isang component pa dito that produces electricity. So mapapansin mo, with the simple grid tie inverter, there's only one input and one output. So pag yung one output mo na yon compromised, wala ka ng power. That's why no backup. To power. Now, for the hybrid, makikita mo may input na solar panel and may input siya na battery power. There's two inputs of power and there's two outputs of power. Your EPS, emergency power system load, and then your grid tie load. So, kahit nag-brown out, mamamatay talaga. 100% mamamatay pa rin talaga si grid tie output mo. But you still have your EPS output load. And that's why our hybrid clients, pag brown out, hindi sila nawawalan ng kuryente. So yun, I hope this video explained a lot regarding this. Kasi marami pa rin clients na nalilito. Gusto nila nag-load yung buong bahay nila sa EPS. May mga ibang clients na pinapayagan kami kasi sa buong bahay nila, dalawang aircon lang talaga yung meron sila. Tapos tinatanong namin yung client, meron ba kayong induction stove? Nag-o-oven ba kayo? Hindi. Very low. So yung mga clients usually na 6,000 to 10,000 peso yung billing statement nila, pwede mong i-load yung buong bahay. But how about clients who have 25,000 or 30,000 peso billing statement? Ang expectation nila, ilo-load yung buong bahay dun sa EPS nila, which is mali. Hindi pwede yon unless na lang na sobrang dami mong inverters. Okay? Worth 2-3 million peso worth contract. Sige, load mo yung buong bahay mo dyan kung gusto mo. Mag-separate ka pa ng mga loads kasi ang largest naman na load is na inverter, 16 kilowatt power. Okay? Or 20 kilowatt power. So, yun yung advice ko. Please understand nyo na maigi yung grid tie inverter and yung hybrid inverter. Usong-uso na ngayon yung hybrid inverter, but we also have to be knowledgeable how it works kasi hindi natin pwedeng i-overload yung EPS side natin. Because what will happen, it will damage our equipment. Kaya ina-advise namin lagi, critical loads. Critical loads mean, ano yung, sir, mamamatay ka if walang kuryente? Yun yung tanong, mamamatay ka ba if wala to? Diba? So, yung CCTV, lights, yung AC, syempre, yung mga ibang clients, hinihika. So, maganda yung AC, kailangan naka-AC pa rin sila. Yun, water pump. Siyempre, tubig is important. Kailangan natin yan. And then yung internet. Come on, guys. Panahon ngayon, internet ang pinakamahalaga sa lahat na tong binanggit natin. So anyways, yun. Nagtatapos ang video natin. Kung may questions kayo regarding this particular topic regarding the hybrid and the grid tie inverters again, you can comment down below so that we can answer your questions. So thank you very much and have a nice day. Wait, hold on. Don't forget to like and subscribe our video. Sobrang laking tulong to for us. And share nyo sa mga people who are also still quite confused regarding the information ng solar energy natin. So, yun. Thank you so much and have a nice day. Bye-bye.